Welcome to the Red Zone, everyone. Another boring affair at Villa Park. Aston Villa 0, Manchester United 0. And yet again, I think by the looks of it, it looks like Ten Hag is keeping his job for the long run, according to what he said. It's a very open affair. I believe he's not going anywhere from what he's saying. And if we are to believe what he is saying, I don't think he's going anywhere. But first, let's talk about the game. It was a very boring affair. We stuck up anything really just to not lose the game. We played not to lose the game. Aston Villa were injury struck. I think quite a lot of their midfield, their first team midfield wasn't there. And yet again, we had a very stale affair. I think the midfield for us was not great. But positives, Johnny Evans is the best player in Manchester United, which is a 36-year-old. Is not great to be seeing, especially when you listen to some of the commentators' comments, which I'll be pulling up in just a second, what they actually thought about the game themselves. And they're right. They are 100% right for both teams. Watkins I didn't even know he was on the pitch the second half. I didn't see him. I didn't hear of him. Very poor. Look, let's start from the goalkeeper. Anana did absolutely nothing, and that's a good thing for once. There was nothing for him to do. It was one or two very good saves maybe, but that's about it. Like it was a very boring affair for him. Very quiet day. He won't need to do a warm down, that's for sure. Mazraoui, first half, I thought was the best player on the pitch, or one of, after Johnny Evans. Don't know why he's gone off. I haven't seen nothing why he went off the pitch. I don't know if it's an injury or not. I assume it's an injury. You wouldn't take him off otherwise for Lindelof to come on. Again, who done okay. Nothing spectacular. He's not a wing back, so it's like playing with another Wan-Bissaka again, isn't it? Doesn't know how to go forward, and that's it at the end of the day. Harry Maguire, again, came off with an injury. What's that? That must be 5 or 6 injuries now in the last 12 months. Is that class as injury prone? Yes, I believe it is. He's very, very injury prone at the moment, which is a shame because I actually think he deserved to start today. He's probably one of the better defenders that we got on the pitch today. And I think seen that when De Ligt came on, it just wasn't the same. I don't know what's going on with De Ligt, but just not great. Johnny Evans, absolutely fantastic. All them hard challenges he put in, demanding standards from corners, shouting, screaming, commanding his box, even though it's not even his box to command, it should be the keeper doing it. But he was organising from the back, he was driving that team perfectly, and you know what? A full-on credit to a 36 or 37-year-old who is arguably, was the best player on that pitch. There is no argument, actually. I think he was miles ahead of a lot of players on that pitch today. Delot, look, my boy Dale does not like Delot, right? I don't know what he sees in it, but he does not like him. He comes with arguments at me. I think he's a player playing out of position. He's doing a job at left back when that's not his preferred position, and I think he's doing a good job. Okay, he hasn't been great the last 2 games, and including this one, I give him a solid 6 out of 10. Johnny Evans, 7.5, 8 out of 10. Maguire, 7 out of 10. Mazraoui, 6.5 out of 10. In fact, if I'm giving Mazraoui 6.5, I've probably got a Delot about 5.5 and 5.5. For me, it's just something not right. I don't know what's going on. I don't know whether it's just been overplayed, not played enough. I don't know. But something's not quite right with Delot because he's not the same person. Eriksen and Mainu in that midfield. It was a battle of who's the best of the worst midfields today. And we still lost that battle. Eriksen too slow, sluggish. By the way, the yellow card he picked up was never, ever a yellow card in the first minute and a half of a game. It's an absolute joke. And that referee today should be ashamed of himself. Absolutely should be ashamed, and it should be reviewed. Everything should be reviewed from that game because he's on the take 100%. And I don't give a shit what anyone says. He is on the take. It was an absolute despicable display from the ref. But it doesn't matter what the ref does. We still got to play our game. Mainu, again, very disappointing, to be fair. A couple of misplaced passes, slow on the ball, caught on the ball a couple of times. I don't know if he's still carrying an injury, maybe. That could be what it is. I'm not too sure. But either way, very poor display from Mainu. I'll give them both a 6 out of 10. 6 being the bare minimum. I don't think it was a bad display, but I don't think it was a very good display. Talking about not very good displays, Bruno Fernandez. Very, very poor today. I kind of wish he had that suspension not upheld, to be fair. I think he needs to calm down, slow the game down, pick the simple passes. Simplify your game. Pass, move. Pass, move. Look for the pass. If you've got to do a wieldy pass, you should only be doing them once, maybe twice a game. You should be keeping it simple, dictating the play from the middle of the park. And that's one thing that Bruno Fernandez is incapable of doing. He's nothing like any of the other number 10s in the Premier League. He's too irrational, does not control the game and calm. Even when he does play the simple passes, it's absolutely horrific. They're not even close to being good passes. The perfect example I remember, Mazraoui had the ball. He played it inside to Bruno. All he had to do, Bruno, was play it anywhere in front of him. He was free. And he kicks a straight out play. And you're like, you're the person with the technical ability to do that in that team. That's why you're the number 10. You're the conductor. You're the dictator of that team, of how we play. And I think that's a big thing that needs to be changed at the club. I think Eriksen should be playing number 10 and Bruno dropping down to an 8, personally. I think that might give him a little bit of a chance, but I think Eriksen controls the ball a lot better and dictates the play a lot better, personally. Garnacho, very quiet, very poor on the passing today. Yeah, I know it's harsh, but 5.5. Marcus Rashford, again, 5.5. Highland, graveyard shift. And we can prove that with this. So this is the expected goals from both teams. It's not even 0.5. It's not even a little whiff of a shot being on target or on the goal. There was no creation from any of the team today, and that was an absolute shocker from both teams. And for me, you can't blame Highland. He got on the ball, he done bits. A couple of times you just see he's frustrated and angry because you're just not getting the ball. And I agree with him. I don't know why with Highland you just don't get the ball to the guy. Just get it in the box to him. He will naturally finish the ball. But then again, I've got to be consistent. You've got to give him a 5.5, 6 out of 10. I'm going to give him a 6 personally. Again, very, very poor performance, but very structurally sound performance from the back. Personally, that was decent. It's the best we could have hoped for, was a draw. And it's what we got. I think that didn't help by we were being very good. I think Aston Villa were very bad. And I think that sums it up in Berbatov's comment back here. I'm trying to find the right words here. He means trying to describe. He didn't want to be offensive, obviously, to Johnny Evans. And this is not meant an attack of Johnny Evans. It's meant by the guy who's 36 years old and outperforming all the youngsters on that pitch. Everybody on that pitch today should be ashamed because Johnny Evans is man of the match. And he means that from a loving place. He does not mean that from a hateful place at all. He means, how can a 36-year-old be bothered to put in a 9 out of 10 performance or a 10 out of 10 performance when you can't even be bothered to give a 3 or a 4? That's what he's saying. I know I'm trying to be extreme but I'm trying to explain it in the best way I can. Absolutely fantastic for Johnny Evans, a proper red, and we move on. We move on because Johnny Evans was asked, obviously, about the Mangiolo situation. Does it affect the players in any way, shape, or form? He said it does affect players. Yeah, of course it does. It's on our minds too. I think there's more experience you get. Obviously, he's explaining about his personal experience. I've got in my career, I've made sure to do everything you can to be ready to play, etc., for the team. But you should be doing that anyway, whether the manager's job at risk or not. Is there progression under Ten Hag? Les Ferdinand doesn't believe so, and I agree with him. United are not improving, and it's not enough. And I agree with him. It's not enough. We've been very, very poor, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're so negative. Be up happy with what? Give me something to be positive about. Give me something to be happy about, and I will. I will." Ten Hag was obviously asked about the hierarchy being in today at the stadium, and this is what he said: "Will you be speaking to him, etc., etc.?" He said, "We always speak. Every week we speak. We're all on board together, all on one page. We know what it were. We know what we are working through. It's a long-term process. Keyword: long-term process. We have come through 2 very tough away games. You were leading one of them, but anyway, carry on. This is a team we are showing. We are showed the difference and stuff like that. He goes on to say that I haven't got a full tweet there, but is that enough? That's the question for me. Is that enough to say he genuinely believes? I think he is there. To stay. This tweet backs it up right back here. Ineos, we know it's a long-term process, a project. It's a process. The man beat his own record for finishing the lowest amount of points. He beat his own record from 2 years ago. We're going backwards, Eric. We're not going forwards. Is this project to go back to the championship? Is that what the project is? Because let us know what the project is, because then maybe we could see the same thing. Because at the moment we're not. We are not. For me, it's very worrying. Again, there's another person, Fabrizio Romano, tweeting out here saying the same thing. But at the end, we can see the spirit. See the spirit. See the spirit. Oh, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say. I don't care how much spirit. He must be on the spirits. This kid must be on the spirits, because I don't care how much he's seeing, how much, I can see spirits. It doesn't matter. The man's not progressing this team. Move on. Time to move. Like, it's not good. It's not a good look for us. It's not a good look for Manchester United. It's not a good look at all. We have got some more news coming in regarding, obviously, the hierarchy of Manchester United. Will be meeting tomorrow and London on Tuesday. So Manchester United, they will be meeting in Manchester tomorrow and on London on Tuesday. I imagine that's to speak to other shareholders, stakeholders. I think the Glazers are flying in on Tuesday to meet with them in London. I think that's the reason why it's London and not Manchester. Don't know, but there we go. That's the only reason I can think of. And there is a big issue with this. Do they make the decision of sacking him? I hope so. And the question is then, who do we bring in? Who do we bring in to steady the ship? And I think the man's already there in Ruud van Nistelrooy. Gee, I forgot his name then. He needs to take over, steady the ship. You've seen how shifty they were on the bench next to each other today. Arguments flying, comments going, very stern conversations going on, disagreeing with substitutions. Is this the start of the boat rocking too much so it does not tip over? Because at the moment I think it is going to tip over. I think we're in for a long ride the next couple of weeks or so. If by Tuesday it is not decided, I think he's staying. We'll know Tuesday night if the man is staying or not. That will be the bread and butter day. That's the day we find out Ten Hag is either staying or not. But I with these comments, I don't want him to stay, but I generally believe he is staying at Manchester United, which is scary. And if that's the case, that means he is the new Sir Alex Ferguson in terms of lowest performance and then getting backed. Let's hope he can turn into the new Sir Alex Ferguson, but I doubt that very strongly, personally. A bit of bad news as well. Harry Maguire's been seen leaving Villa Park with a protective boot on. That's never a good sign, especially when he pulled up with nobody touching him. That normally means there's some sort of ligament or something gone. Fingers crossed, touch wood, that is nothing serious for him. But this is a big issue for Harry Maguire because he's been injured an awful lot lately in the last 12 to 18 months, and it could be a potential issue. So, wish him all the best, but that is it. That is it from the Red Zone. Thank you for watching. A very short one, but yeah, enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with a friend. Take care, much love, peace.